Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be doing a viewer request, building a crafter square kit that they got from the Dollar Tree. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, I do have a viewer request. This was sent to me via email. I have yet to find the new 6 kits from the Dollar Tree. I have been asked a few times if I was going to do those videos, but like I said, I haven't found them in my Dollar Tree yet. So if you don't feel like waiting, please feel free to send me a clear image of the instructions and maybe I'll be able to try to help you. So these instructions that I received are very different from the last 2 sets of kits that Dollar Tree has rolled out since I've been actually paying attention to them. It's very disappointing because I thought that the last set that they rolled out was a lot better than the first. It seems like these instructions, you guys, are really terrible. I completely understand how one would not be able to understand these instructions. As a crocheter for several decades, this one was difficult. It was a matter of trying to follow the instructions, seeing if I can do things differently. And believe it or not, their instructions are probably the best way to go. You just have to understand what it is they're trying to say. It seems like they were created in a different country and then translated very poorly. So I'm going to try to go through these as best I can. Bear with me. These videos are a supplement to the kit that you'll get. So if you really do want to build these, I highly recommend that you go to your local Dollar Tree and try to find them. Eventually, I think they put them on their website, but you do have to buy in bulk. They just posted, not just, but they do now have the last 6 kits that I posted videos for. So I will be going over new stitches at least 3 times, step by step. I will be going over these instructions because they are very difficult. I normally don't go through step by step with them, but it's really hard to understand what they're asking you to do. If you need to speed up or slow down this video, click on the gear button in the corner. There's playback options to go fast or slow. If you don't need to hear me talk, you can lower the volume on your device and then click on the CC closed caption button. So they show you how to do their stitches, and then when you get more than halfway down the instructions, then that's where you start doing the project. So I'm going to cut all of that so that you can just start ahead with me. Don't mind the wad of yarn here. This was everything that I did before. I just unraveled it and put it on my finger, so hopefully I won't have to undo that. But we're going to start right away. You're going to have your end piece here, and we have to create a slip knot. So you want to pinch the end of the yarn with your middle finger, your index finger, pinky, and thumb. Then with your middle finger and index finger, we're going to hold the yarn apart. We're going to make sure this is tight and this is loose. So what you want to do is lie your hook perpendicular to the yarn, and you're going to go down, out, and around to create a loop around your hook. You can slide it up and down. You're going to want to slide it towards your thumb, your left thumb. Then we're going to take the middle finger and just hold it where it crosses. I'm going to bunch this around my finger a little bit more. For you, you shouldn't have this on here, so just go ahead and wrap some around your finger. Then I'm going to pinch this end here, and then I'm going to slide my hook further down towards the thumb, and where it crosses, I'm going to pinch so that my hook can no longer go up and down. Then we're going to yarn over like that, and we're going to pull this through the loop like that. Okay, so now we have a knot right here. I'm going to overhand my hook, hold it this way. We're going to repinch this end. You don't want to lose it, but I'm going to push this knot towards my thumb. So push it down towards your thumb until you can no longer push it down. Okay, so now that it's created a tighter knot, what you do is want to make it just a little bit tighter. So we're going to take our thumb and middle finger and pull the excess piece out. You're going to feel a little give, but don't try too hard. You just want enough to make the knot snug. Then I'm going to grab the knot and I'm going to slide this towards the hook like that. Okay, and then we can start because this is a slip knot. Alright, so going all the way down to the body, we have our number of crochet stitches that we have to do. So we are going to be making 9 chains. Okay, so let's do one. We're going to hold our project right where the knot is. This is going to stabilize our project so that we have something to work with. It won't move around. If you don't hold it, you're going to be like struggling. Okay, so hold this knot. We're going to yarn over. So take this strand over the hook. That's a yarn over, right? We're going to pull this through the loop like that. And that's a chain stitch. Okay, so a chain stitch consists of 3 loops. We have one on each side, and then if you turn it sideways, you have the one in the back. That's the hump. Let's do another one. So yarn over. We're going to pull this strand through the loop. So now we have 2 chains. Each chain consists of 3 loops, one on each side, and then the loop on the back. Let's do this one more time with you guys. So we're going to yarn over and we're going to pull this through the loop. So now we have 3 chains. Again, a chain is made up with 3 loops, 1 loop here, 1 loop here. Turn it on its side. There's a loop in the back called the hump. All right, so we have 3 down. We're going to do 5 more. We're going to do 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you should have in total 9 chains. Okay, so what we're going to do is we have 8 chains that we're going to end up making single crochet stitches with, and then that remaining chain is going to make the height of the next row. So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in. Turn your chains onto the side where you see the back humps. I'm going to stick my hook into these back humps here. They're going to help me keep a pretty braid on the other side. Okay, so let's do a single crochet stitch. Let me show you how to do that. Stick your hook into the second chain from the hook. So we're not counting the loop that's currently on there. We're counting the chains that fall after. So not this chain, this chain. So this is chain 1, chain 2 from the hook. We're going to stick our hook in the back loop or the hump right here. Just that one loop. Okay. And then if I flip it upside down, you can see that it's just under that pretty braid. All right. But next we're going to yarn over. You're going to pull through the loop. So we have 2 loops onto our hook. Then we're going to yarn over again, and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. So we have our first single crochet stitch. Here's the top of the stitch. It looks like a pretty braid. Okay, it's made up of 2 loops, front loop, back loop. All right. So let's do this again. We're going to do another single crochet stitch. Turn your chain sideways. I want you to stick your hook into the back hump right here. So it's just 1 loop. If you flip it upside down, you're going to see it's just under that pretty braid. You're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So you have 2 loops onto your hook. Then we're going to yarn over again, and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. So now we have 2 single crochet stitches. Each stitch looks like a braid. There's a front loop and a back loop. All right, one more time with you guys. Turn your chain sideways like this. We're going to stick our hook into the next hook, loop, but in the back hump right here. It's just 1 loop. You flip it upside down, you have that nice pretty braid underneath. Okay, we're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull up a loop. Then we're going to yarn over again, and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. So now we have 3 single crochet stitches. If you actually flip it upside down, see, you have the same braids underneath. So just by putting your hook into the back hump, you get to have 2 sides look nice and pretty. Alright, so now that I've done 3 of these, I'm going to be doing the remaining 5. So you can rewind, pause, fast forward, whatever you need to do, but I'm just going to continue doing single crochet stitches down the line here. Okay. And then when you're done, well, this is the last stitch. I'm going to try tucking in this excess piece. So when you stick your hook into the back hump, you want to lay this piece flat on your hook. Then you're going to want to yarn over. And so it's going to yarn over the excess piece. We're going to pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops. And hopefully that stays in. If it doesn't, you could always trim it in the end. But you should have 8 single crochet stitches after this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to build the height of the next row. And to do that, we're going to chain 1. So yarn over, pull through the loop, we've chained 1. Now we're going to turn our project. So if your project looks like this, we're simply just going to turn it to the back like that. Alright, so now what we're going to do is do an increasing stitch. We're going to stick our hook into this first stitch here. We're going to do an increasing stitch, which is basically 2 single crochet stitches in this 1 stitch. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Into that same stitch, put your hook. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, so now you have 2 single crochet stitches in this 1 stitch. So now what we're going to do is we're going to be doing 6 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then the last one, we're going to do another increasing stitch. So that's basically 2 single crochet stitches in this next stitch. Put in your hook. We're going to do 2 single crochet stitches. 1 and 2 in that same stitch. Okay. So at the end of this, you should be having 10 single crochet stitches. So now what we're going to do is create the height of the next round. So yarn over and pull through the loop, that's chain 1. So now we're just going to turn our project this way, and then we're going to do our we're going to do an increasing stitch in this first stitch here. So stick in your hook, we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches in this 1 stitch. So here's 1. Stick your hook into that same stitch again, and then do another. Okay. Alright, so from here, we're going to be doing 8 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then for the last one we're going to do an increasing stitch. So into the last stitch we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches, 1 and 2. So you should have in total 12 single crochet stitches. So now we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn. We're going to do our increasing stitch into the first stitch. So 1, 2 single crochet stitches in that one stitch. All right, then we're going to do 10 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and then for the last single crochet stitch we're going to do an increasing stitch. So 1 and 2. So in total you should have 14 single crochet stitches. So now we're going to do the 5th row, and I'm going to start using these markers because these markers are going to help you identify which row you're on, because from here on out it's going to be the same instruction. We're going to do single crochet stitches all the way up. So we're going to mark the last stitch that we made here, slip it just under the braid of the last stitch we made. Make sure you're not piercing any yarn here. Close your marker. That's going to be count as 5, and we're going to do up to 15. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, set these ones aside. So as long as I use all of these up, I know that it's going to be the same stitches and I don't have to really keep track. The markers keep track for me. So let me do one row with you guys. So for each one of these moving up, we're going to do it just like this. You place your marker at the last stitch you made. We're going to chain 1 and then turn, and then we're going to do a single crochet stitch into every stitch down the row. And again, there should be 14 for you. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay, 14 single crochet stitches. We have our last stitch here. Just take this is going to mark as the 6th row, but we're marking the last stitch we made. You want to chain 1 and turn. Okay, so from here on out we're just going to repeat that same movement until we finish all of our markers, and then we're going to come back in and we're going to show you how to fasten off. We have to make 2 of these. I'm going to make the second one off camera, But I'm going to do this all in silence. Alright, so I completed all the rows. It should look something like this, I hope. We're going to have some tail to sew the pieces together, and how I kind of guess how much I need, I kind of go around the project twice, and hopefully they give you enough yarn. Then I just cut this off here. Now, we're going to fasten off. To fasten off, all you do is we're going to yarn over. Okay, we're going to pull that through the loop and all the way out. So all that yarn we're pulling all the way through. And then we're going to tighten up that loop by pulling on this tail end. And that's that. You can remove all of your markers, use them for the second piece. So again, I'm going to go off camera and create the second piece, and then we're going to move on to I think it's the belly. Okay, and I'm going to wait till everything is done before I sew things together, because I'm not too sure yet how that's going to all work out. When you make your second one, you don't need a super long tail. You can cut it in about 1 inch or so, and then yarn over, pull all the way through and tighten up, because we already have this long tail here that we're going to use to sew the two pieces together. Alright, so I'm going to be back with both pieces, and then we're going to move on to the belly. Alright, so I have the second piece. It's shorter here. We're going to sew these together and hide that, so I'm not worried about that, but here's the other piece. We're going to go do the belly now. Okay, so I have my cream colored yarn. And for this one, we're going to be doing rounds. So, let's see here. Now, it has you doing chains and just doing putting the chains together, but I think if we do the amigurumi magic circle, it will close up that hole in the middle. So let's try that. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this 3 times around our finger with a little bit of overage like that. We're going to take our middle finger and hold down that piece. You can straighten these out, tighten them up. Then I'm going to take my hook here, slip it underneath the 3 strands. I'm going to pull this strand underneath these 2. So let's do that now. Then we're going to yarn over. So we're going to pull this strand through the loop like that. You can let go of your middle finger, slip the loops off your index, and then we have to do 4 single crochet stitches. Going to gather up some yarn here. So we're going to do 4 single crochet stitches here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, so now that we are here, we are going to want to close this magic loop. So you're going to hold the bottom stitches here. Oh, that's away from the hook. We're going to pull this, and we're going to watch to see which one of these 2 loops will go in first. So pull this. Once you've identified which loop is going in, stop pulling. Mine is this one back here. I'm going to pull this side out, so not this side next to the hook, this side that's away from the hook, you want to pull that out from the bottom, and you're going to start seeing the other loop start to disappear. Keep pulling until that loop is gone inside that magic loop. Once that is done, you can take this and pull out the excess piece, and you'll see the other loop disappear. Then we're going to pull in the opposite direction and a little up so that we can pull as much as we can pull. So now we have our 4 single crochet stitches. We have to close the round, and how we do that is we're going to count back 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to stick your hook into the 4th stitch. Might be a little difficult because we're working with 4 single crochet stitches only. But stick that into the 4th stitch. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do our slip stitch. So to do that, we're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through all the loops off your hook, just like that. And then we're going to take our marker and mark the last stitch that we made, and then we can start with the next round. So for the next round, we have to have 6 single crochet stitches. So what you want to do is we're going to chain 1 for the height like we've done with the other pieces. This does not count as a stitch. We're going to go into our next stitch and do an increasing stitch. Then we're going to do a single crochet stitch. Then we're going to do another increasing stitch. So into the next stitch, do an increasing stitch. Okay, and then the last stitch that's the marker, we're going to do a single crochet stitch. Alright, so now you can remove your marker here. We're going to count back 6 stitches from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to stick our hook into the 6th stitch, and then we're going to do a slip stitch. So yarn over and pull through all loops off the hook. We're going to take our marker again and mark the last stitch that we made, and then we're going to move on to round 3. So yikes. For the 3rd round now, we have to have 16 stitches. So this is the interesting part. We have 6 stitches here currently, and we have to increase to 16. If we do an increasing stitch on each of the 6 stitches, we only have 12. So that leaves us with that leaves us with 4 stitches. Oh my goodness. Alright, so I'm trying to do this even. What a pain. So let's just chain 1. Okay. So I don't know how they're pulling these numbers. Like, it's insanity. Alright, we're definitely going to do an increasing stitch for all 6 stitches. That will leave us for 12. So there's 4 stitches in here that we're going to add an extra stitch. I just got to make sure I call out the 4 stitches. So let's say this last stitch is one of the 4. I'm going to mark, skip a stitch, and I'm going to mark the next one. 2. I'm going to skip another stitch, and then we're going to do 4. Mark the next stitch. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I guess the first one will be double crochet stitch. It'll have the extra stitch as well. Alright. So wherever I have a marker, I'm going to put 3 single crochet stitches, and then the rest of the stitches are only going to get 2. And then in total, you're supposed to have 16. I don't know, man. Alright, so this first one gets 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. The next one gets another 3 because there's a marker here. So 3 single crochet stitches in the next one. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Now the next one doesn't have a marker, so we're just going to do 2. 1, 2. Now the next one has a marker, we're going to do 3. 1, 2, and 3. The next one doesn't have one, so we're going to do 2. 1, 2. And then finally, the last one is going to have 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright. So we're going to double check that we have 16 by counting from the hook, hopefully 16 single crochet stitches. 3, 5, 3, 10, 3, 16. Okay, so put your hook into the 16th stitch, and we're going to do a slip knot. So yarn over and pull through all the loops off your hook. I'm going to remove this marker and replace it to the last stitch we've made, and then we're going to remove the remaining markers since we won't need them anymore. So it's going to look something like this. Alright, now for the next round, we're going to be doing 32 stitches. So we're basically just going to do an increasing stitch in each stitch. So that's going to be easier to figure out. Okay, so I'm going to chain 1, and then we're going to do a single crochet stitch, increasing stitch in each stitch. Alright, gonna remove the marker. Just gonna recount to see if I have 32 stitches on here. Uh, 32 stitches. I don't know if I said 30 or 32. Focused. Okay. Put your marker under the last stitch we made. Alright, and then add an extra needle in every other one needle for the 5th round. I'm guessing that needle was meant to be stitch, so every other stitch we're going to be doing an increasing stitch. So again, these instructions are not worth worth $1.25. These are not. I'm baffled. They've really just decided to be cheap, and there should be a letter written to whoever owns the Dollar Tree and ask them, what is your problem exactly? Because you're giving them your money, whether it's $1.25 or $125. That's hard-earned money, and you're getting crap in a kit. I'm sorry, that was my rant. Okay, chain 1. Okay, so every other stitch we're going to do an increasing stitch. Let's see where it starts us off with. Alright, I don't know, but let's start with the single crochet stitch then. Single, increase. 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 And this is already warping, so not a fan. Single, increase. Single, increase. Single, increase. Single, increase. Single, increase. Single, increase. single increase. Alright, I'm not too sure how many stitches this is going to be. I want to count it, and then I'm going to do a slip knot. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 47. So it should be near 47. Slip knot. Alright, and then we're probably going to sew this. Let's see. Doesn't say, but we're gonna. So just in case, I'm going to, again, just measure out double of what this size is. And then cut it. And then we're going to fasten this off. We're going to pull this tight. Alright, so we're going to end up sewing this onto our little froggy like that. The picture shows it to be a little bit more oval, but if we did it that way, you'd have a hole that you would have to sew closed. Rather than save yourself an extra step, we did it the amigurumi way, circle, oval. I don't know at this point. I don't think it really matters. Alright, so then we're going to have our 4-foot, which I believe is the arms, and then the rear foot after that. And we're going to go back to doing rows. So let's switch out our cream yarn back to our green yarn. Okay, so I gotta remind myself, I did skip the eye by accident, but since I have the green out here, we're gonna just continue with doing the 4-foot. So we have to get into our slip knot. So again, we're gonna take our ring, pinky, and thumb, hold the end here, and then our index and middle, and hold it apart. You'll want to make this nice and tight, this one a little bit loose. I'm going to lie my hook perpendicular to the yarn, and we're going to go down, out, and around so we can slide our hook up and down. Slide it down towards your thumb. We're going to put our middle finger right where it crosses because I'm going to let go of my left. Gather up some yarn around your finger. Repinch the end here. We're going to continue to slide the hook further down closer to the thumb. And then we're going to pinch where it crosses so that we can no longer slide our hook up or down. Then we're going to yarn over, and then we're going to pull this strand through this loop like that. Then we're going to overhand the hook. We're going to repinch that end, and see, now we have this knot. We're going to push the knot towards the thumb, making the knot smaller and tighter. And you want to keep doing this till you can no longer push that knot close to the thumb. When you get to that point, we're going to take the thumb and middle finger and just pull this little piece out, and you're going to feel a little bit of give, right? Not too much, but you just want the knot nice and snug. Then I'm going to grab the knot and slide it closer to the hook, and then we can start our first row. So for the 4-foot, we're going to be doing, let's see. Okay, so for the next, how many rows here? So we have to do 4, but I'm going to use my markers. I'm only going to pull 3 because there's no stitch to mark here yet. So after we do this one, this will be row 3, row 4. Oh, wait, what? Sorry. Row 2, row 3, and row 4. Okay, So let's do chain 5. Actually, we might have. All right, so let's chain 5. All right, 6. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because they want you to do 5 single crochet stitches, but we got to add that extra one for the height. So after you chain your 6, we're going to turn it on its side. We're going to count the second chain from the hook, and we're going to do our first single crochet stitch by sticking in this back hump. So do your single crochet stitch. That's 1. Let's do another. 2, 3, and then complete the rest. Alright, for the last one, you have that excess piece. We're going to just flatten this down onto our hook. Then we're going to yarn over. That's going to add to holding it down. We're going to pull this through the loop and finish our single crochet stitch. So hopefully that excess piece gets stuck in there. It might come out and you can just trim it off. Okay, so this one is round 1. We're going to mark round 2, so stick your marker under the last stitch we made, just underneath the braid here. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we'll just need 3 markers. Alright, so we're just going to complete the same steps for the next 3 rows. Okay, so don't forget to chain your 1 for the height of the row. We're going to turn, and then you're going to complete the rest of these single crochet stitches. Your marker in place. Again, we're going to chain 1, turn, and then we're going to complete our single crochet stitches. Last marker. Okay. So once you have this done, then what we have to do, we have to do 3 single crochet stitches for the 5th to the 6th round. So for the next 2 rows, we have to have 3. So this means we're going to decrease. And I'll show you how to do that. So chain 1, turn, we're going to do a decreasing stitch. So what you're going to do is stick your hook into the first stitch here. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull up a loop. So now you have 2 loops on your hook. Then we're going to go into the next stitch and put in your hook. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through all 3 loops. So that's a decreasing stitch. It's basically taking 2 single crochet stitches and making 1 stitch. So now I'm going to do a single crochet stitch, right? And then for the last 2 stitches, we're going to do another decreasing stitch. So into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, then into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. So now we have 3 left here. Alright, so now for the 6th row, we just have to do 3 single crochet stitches, and we're already there. So chain 1, turn, and we're going to do 3 single crochet stitches. Okay, so let's see, from here we can fasten off. So we do have to sew this, so let's again measure out the length by doubling this right here. Alright. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through the loop all the way out, and we're going to tighten this up. You can remove your markers, we won't be needing them. But so for this now, these are going to be the 4 feet, and you have to make 3 more of these because we're making 2, obviously 2 4 feet for the frog, and each 4 foot takes 2 of these. So the second piece that you make, like we did with the body, don't make the tail this long. You can like cut it about 1 inch or so and fasten off. But I'm going to do all these pieces off camera, and then when we come back in, I am going to just continue with the rear foot, and then we'll do the eye after. But I'll be right back with the other pieces. So I have my 4 pieces. One has a long tail length, the other one has a short one. We're going to end up sewing these 2 together, but we'll do that towards the end. Now we're going to make the rear foot. So gather up your yarn here. One more time I'm going to show you how to do a slip knot. So ring, pinky, and thumb on one end. Keep that tight. Index and middle on the other. We're going to keep that a little bit loose. Lie your hook perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, out, and around so your needle can slide up and down. We're going to slide this down towards our thumb. Put your middle finger right where it crosses. Move your hands. We're going to gather up some yarn here. Repinch the end. We're going to drag our needle closer to our thumb. And then we're going to do a yarn over. We're going to pull that through the loop, overhand your hook, repinch the end. We're going to push this knot towards our thumb. Once you hit a stopping point, we're going to pull the little excess piece out just a little bit more, and then we're going to drag the knot close to the hook. Right. So now for here we're going to be doing 5 single crochet stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to do single crochet stitches. So second chain from the hook, insert your needle or your hook, sorry, and we're going to do our single crochet stitch. Then we're going to do the remaining single crochet stitches on this row. Okay. Now for the next row, we're going to be doing increasing stitches, and we're going to be doing it for the next few rows. So if this is 2, 3, 4, 5, so round 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to do a decreasing stitch. Increasing stitch. So yarn over and pull through the loop to make our chain stitch. We're going to turn, and then we're going to do an increasing stitch in each one of these stitches. So stick your hook into the first stitch. We're going to do 2 single crochet stitches in here. Right. Put a marker. So you should have 8 single crochet stitches. We're going to chain 1 and turn, and then we're going to do 8 single crochet stitches. Chain 1 and turn. Alright, let's see what's next. Oh, I guess that is it. Okay, so we're going to end up sewing this. I'm going to go around this twice. Alright. Then we're going to fasten this off, yarn over, pull all the way out, pull the string. Alright, so like we did with the forearms, we're going to need 3 more pieces of these. The next one is going to have a short tail, and then we have to make another pair to match this. So when we come back, I'm going to come back in with the rear feet done, and then we're going to do the eyes. Alright, so I have my pieces here. I have 4 pieces to make 2 pairs. Got the 2 with the long tails and then 2 with the short. We're going to sew those together. How? I have no idea, but we'll figure it out. So the last pieces that we have to make are for the eyes. So we're going to go do our slip knot. And as you do these, you'll get a lot faster in making them. So if you need to go back, just rewind. I guess rewind the video. I don't know. What do you say? I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna do 5 chains, because we have to do 4 single crochet stitches. So second chain from the hook, we're going to stick this hook into the back hump, and we're going to be doing 4 single crochet stitches. Okay, and then from rows 2 through 5, got my markers here, we're going to be doing 6 single crochet stitches. Let me just put a marker here. So that means we have to do an increasing stitch. I'm going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to do an increasing stitch. Then we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches, and then we're going to do another increasing stitch. Okay, so you should have 6 altogether. So we're going to do the next row. So chain 1. And then do your single crochet stitches. Right, I've completed this all, and then we just have to fasten off. So measure up the length of tail, just going around twice. Then we're going to fasten this off and tighten it up. Remove the markers, And then I'm going to do one more eye off camera. And when we come back, we're going to start sewing and stuffing. So hopefully everything works out. Okay, so I've completed all of the pieces I need for the eyes. So let's set these aside here. We're going to take the rear, what do they call these? Rear feet. Set these aside. Then the 4 feet. Set these two aside. We've got the belly. And then we have the body pieces. So now we have to sew these together. And they don't really tell you how to do that. They just show you a photo and you're supposed to figure it out. So let's figure that out together. What I want to do actually, alright, so we know we're going to sew these two pieces together like this, right? I want to sew the belly on there already so that I can tie everything up inside without having to deal with it later. So I don't know if that's the right thing to do. I'm just gonna do it. So situate the location of your belly. Maybe I just have this down here. Okay. And then you can try to make this even. Let's try to make this even. 4, 5, 5. Right, this is going into this stitch here. So I'm basically just going to start stitching around around the whole belly. And I'm going to use straight stitches. Okay. Then when I get to this other side, since it's not put together yet, I can free rein and do what I need to do to tie a knot, and I don't have to worry about how to tuck it in and stuff like that. Okay. And then we are going to put this, cut it down. So we're gonna have to squeeze in a smile here. So let me grab, I think I saw a little pack of black embroidery floss. Wait, and there's some here too, actually. So I'm gonna use this. Hopefully it'll be enough. But I'm gonna use this to make a smile. And it has to span a pretty long way. So let me see. I'm gonna go through here. Why don't I do this? All right. This is one way I'm going to do it. You fold your thread in half. I'm going to feed this through. Okay. Then I'm going to come up here. Go around one stitch. Then I'm going to put the needle through the loop, and that's going to kind of give you like a knot. And then I'm going to drape this, and we're going to go to the other side here. Go around one stitch. I want to make sure that you have enough of this yarn to hold this down here. So then go in the middle. I'm going to go back down. It's going to hold the smile. Then you can go on this side and again find your spot to tie your knot. And then we're going to put in our blush on both sides here. So I'm going to gather up my pink yarn. I'm going to cut a piece of it, and then we're going to do the same thing. Put the two ends together, thread it through the needle. Now I'm going to come in, let's see, here, go around one stitch, put your needle through the loop, and then pull. And then we're just gonna keep going around this stitch till we get the size that we want. Okay, and once you get the one side down, you can go to the other and complete the other side. Go around one stitch. Then you want to make the same size on this side. Okay, then I'm just going to use the black, I guess, to tie around the pink. And then what we're going to do next is sew these two pieces together. And here I'm going to do stitches over the project. Okay, so from here, I don't want to stuff it yet. I want to try to put as much as I can so I can tie freely in here without having to worry about anything. So let's just set this aside for a few, and let's do the eyes. So, let's pick the prettiest one of the pair and the prettiest side of the pair. Okay, and then I'm gonna sew on some eyes. They have some sticky eyes. I'm just gonna make them black. I don't have sticky eyes. Hold on. Alright, I have some black. Let's see how big I'm gonna make these eyes. So, thread it up. And we are going to just make a big round ball in the center of this eye here. Tie it, but not too tight. And then we're going to continue making our eye. And I'm just trying to make it as round as I can possibly make it. So you're just gonna have to do several passes if you're doing it this way. I'm sure the kit gave you some stickers, but I also recommend that if you are giving this to a little toddler or pet, not to have those gluey eyes because they'll just pop off and it could become a choking hazard. I just went around in a circle, and now I'm just gonna try to fill in these blanks here. Okay, let's see. And there's some little bits that you can see, so I'm just gonna cover those. Okay, then I'm just going to tie these two together. And then we're going to do the other eye. So we'll use this to kind of gauge where we're putting the other one. All right. So Okay, same thing. Just went around in a circle, and now I'm just going to fill in the gaps. All right, I'm just gonna tie this off. Okay, and now that we have that, we can sew the eye. So I'm going to take the tail end, thread it through, and we're going to sandwich this together. Nicer side on the outside. And I'm going to sew around this. I'm not closing anything yet because we are stuffing this, so Alright, so then from here, I'm gonna go and stick some stuffing in here. I actually have my own stuffing, so I'm gonna use this. Here it is. Alright. So stuff your eye. Zzz. And you want to make sure that the stuffing does not get in the way of your sewing. And we're just going to sew this shut like this. And once you have this, then we're going to attach this to our body. And we're going to stick this right up here. Okay. And I'm not too sure how to attach this, so I'm not a sewer, so I'm just sewing. I'm just trying to fake it till I make it kind of deal. So if you have your own way of doing this, then by all means. If not, I don't know, just feel it out like I am. Okay, and once I've gone through the whole eye bit here, actually I want to fix this. Maybe not. I think it'll be okay. Right, we're gonna go in on this inside. As I said, like here you can kind of have free reign of how you want to tie this without worrying about what it's going to look like. So I'm just going to do that now. Okay. So we've got the one eye in. And I'm just going to do the other one. the other eye. We're going to stuff this, hopefully the same size as the other one. Okay, and again we're gonna sew these pieces together. Okay, and then once you get through, we're going to attach the eye to the body. Okay, and when you get to the last bit, we're going to go inside of the body. We're going to find a spot to tie this to. Okay. And then I think, let me see. I got the eyes attached now. I would do the arms, but I want to see it stuffed before I attach the arms, so we're going to stuff the body. Get a little bit more stuffing. Oh my gosh. And I'm going to sew this up. Alright, got to the other side. So now we're going to, oh, this one's a little higher. No, I think it's just the way that it's bending. Alright, let's find our knot here somewhere and then tuck this in. Once you've tied your knot, you can go into the project and randomly pop out at the other side somewhere, like that. Then we're going to cut this down and kind of squish it. Alright. So now we just have to do the front and rear feet. So this is the rear, this is the front. Let's do the front first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew the four feet and the rear feet together, stuff it, close it, and then when we come back in, I'm just going to find a spot of where to put them. But I'm going to do this in silence. Alright, so I have all my pieces and I don't know what in the world I was thinking. I cut off the tails when I realized obviously I need them to sew. So I'm going to have to just tie on an extra. But one I caught beforehand. So we're going to sew these together, and I just need to look at the photo and see what it looks like, because I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to look like. Alright, so these are the rear feet and these are the front. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna sew it like this. And then see what happens. I'm having a hard time poking through this leg. Okay, and then once that's on, I'm going to go in here and try to tie my knot. Stick the needle somewhere in here, come out through the other end randomly, pull that through. We're going to cut this flush to the body and then just squish that so we have the one leg on. Then we're going to sew the other. Right. And because I messed up, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to hide this excess piece. But I'll deal with that after. Okay. And I just have to find a spot to tie my knot. Alright, I'm going to actually take my crochet hook. I'm going to go through the surface right up next to that excess piece. I'm going to yarn over and drag it into the body. So that's how I'm going to hide that piece. Alright, so now I'm going to hide this one, but I'm going to come up right where I think we're going to be putting the arm. Okay, because now we're going to sew on the arms. This is a lot bigger than what the picture shows, but what can you do? Alright, so it looks like he's having his arm down like this over his belly. So I'm going to sew this. Right. Then we're going to see how this goes. If you want to sew it in like it does in the photo, then you can go here underneath the arm, and we can loop around a stitch to make sure that stays down. And then I'm going to go up around here. And we're going to tie our knot. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is go back in here. We're going to pop up where the other arm is going to go. Okay, so at least know that's going to stay. Alright, so last arm, everybody. This was a little painful, I must admit. I actually had done this 2-3 times before figuring it out. So no worries if you can't get it. These instructions were horrendous. This is something you'd get if you paid like 50 cents, to be honest, not $1.25. As brutal as that sounds. Okay, then I'm just gonna find a place to tie my knot. I'm gonna go back in here, come out in some random spot. Cut this flush. Okay, the nightmare for me is over. So this is our frog, you guys. The smiley face, sort of. Oh man, comment below, let me know how it went for you. Don't beat yourself up if you can't get this. But I would recommend trying and trying again. That's only how you're gonna get better. Even with the worst kits like this one, if you can at least finish it, you can at least say that you finished the most impossible kit possible. Yeah. Alright, so thank you so much for watching, you guys. I do have the remaining 2 knit kits. And if there's any other requests to do these crafter square kits, I do cringe, but yeah, I'll try to find them. But if you don't want to wait, send me a clear image of the instructions and I'll try to help you out. So thank you so much, you guys, for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.